Hi, I'm Maura Eliza from Flex Health with Maura, and today I have Lawrence here talking about his experience with BioResonance Feedback. So we worked together for about a month and just saw so many amazing changes. He wanted to get on and make sure other people heard his story. So, Lawrence, let's just start off at the beginning. Like, what led you to start
Yeah.
working with me?
I was feeling miserable. Um, I think the day before I reached out to you, I actually had, it was a Monday. I had actually missed church on Sunday because I had such a bad case of gout. I could not walk.
Oh, wow.
And so have been experiencing gout issues for probably 10 to 15 years. And nothing seemed to work on a permanent basis. I would experience some relief here and there, but it would always return. So, and gout is very, very painful.
Right, right. For people
Mhm.
who do you mind going into that a little bit? Because there's people probably
Sure.
watching who have never really don't even know what exactly is involved with gout.
Right. So, it happened all of a sudden. I don't know what caused it. Oftentimes, people say if you're diabetic, you have high blood pressure, some of those symptoms are kind of precursors to having gout. I had none of those. But from what most people say, it's a buildup of uric acid in your system. Your body crystallizes the excess uric acid. It throws it to the furthest part of your body possible, which is your big toe.
Mhm.
That uric acid in a crystallized state lodges in your joint, in your big toe, and it is so painful that the wind makes it hurt.
Oh, wow. So walking
Oh,
also painful,
if,
I'm sure.
well, if you have a really really bad case of it, you can't walk. I had one time I had both feet had gout, and I was bedridden for a whole week.
Wow. And how quickly does that come on? Is it kind of like a slow buildup, or is it you have it one morning when you wake up?
Well, it depends on what I eat. For the most part, beef and pork are what triggers it for me.
Mhm.
If I eat a lot of beef, I don't eat a lot of pork, but if I eat a lot of beef, I could get it within a day or two. Sometimes it may take a week if I'm eating beef on a regular basis. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah, and I want to share that sometimes people will hear about these chronic conditions and think of, somebody who hasn't been taking care of themselves, they have a lot of inflammation. But you came to me, you had already had a lot of extensive experience with natural ways to heal yourself
Yes,
and like keeping your body really healthy, and you were
yes,
still kind of having persistent gout
right,
going on.
right. And really, gout wasn't the only thing. I've always felt like my body just wasn't working right. I felt like my body was at war internally.
Oh, wow.
Being tired, aches and pains, just all kinds of stuff. And so as a result, I did do a lot of research into holistic medicine and alternative treatment, but nothing again had any permanent um, effect for me. So
Yeah. So along your journey, like who all did you seek out for help? Were you
I've
mostly using natural or were you using
yeah
allopathic too? Allopathic
yeah
is Western medicine, by
no no I try to avoid regular doctors at all costs.
the way.
Not that I did not go to them, I have, but when I leave there, I'm usually very disappointed
Mhm,
because they never look for root causes.
mhm,
I've done a lot of chiropractic treatment. I've done acupuncture before.
mhm.
And I had one physician who was a holistic MD, and I really liked her, but it was cost prohibitive. I mean, the starting point was 6,000. Was more
Wow.
likely going to end up around $10,000 for her program, and so I was like, that's a little rich for my blood. So
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, while
yeah.
we're talking about that, overall, how much would you say over those 10 to 15 years, do you have a ballpark of how much you spent like caring for yourself or seeing alternative providers?
Well, I don't have a ballpark figure, but it's definitely thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, you're
Mhm,
always looking for that next, panacea
mhm.
of some supplement that's going to cure everything. So, and I still do a lot of different types of supplements, but yeah, I mean, chiropractic treatment along with some of the supplements they may offer, and then other things you do on your own.
Mhm.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah. It adds up for sure.
yeah.
So we did 12 sessions. We did a BioResonance Feedback Intensive. So that included 12 sessions of using this frequency-based therapy, which we could do remotely. So it's really nice. You don't have to be coming in to see me 3 times a week. We can do some of the sessions while you're sleeping and like kind of take advantage of the body's rest and digest cycles. And then we did some consultation, which would be kind of like other things that you can be doing for yourself during the
Mhm.
therapy and beyond to keep your frequency and your resonance up and make sure that all of those energetic points in your body are communicating. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you're feeling now?
Well, I feel fantastic. I mean, it's probably the best I've felt in 15 years, maybe.
Wow.
Uh, I feel energetic. I don't feel any brain fog. I feel strong. I feel like that war going on in my body just has ceased. So I feel like things are connected and working together. So no, I feel really, really, really good right now. Very good.
Nice.
Very
And
happy.
what happened with the gout symptoms?
So they're pretty much gone. Now, I have started eating beef because I
Mm-hmm.
love beef. I love a big steak and hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I will sense a little bit of it coming on, but it always seems to clear itself up. Now, I am taking some other things like things that help my kidneys, and magnesium is something I think I was deficient in.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of upped my magnesium, and yeah, so far so good.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, actually, how quickly did you notice things were changing within your body
Well,
after
I
you
will
started
say
the
that.
therapy?
mm, I will say that the remote part was kind of blowing my mind. I just could not wrap my brain around being at home and some waves coming through the air and targeting me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think I definitely told you on one or two occasions when you said you were going to work on me. I was like, okay, fine. You don't have to do anything special. You can continue to work or do whatever you're doing. And within an hour or two, on a couple of occasions, I felt so tired I had to drag myself to the bed. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what's going on here? So I thought that was kind of strange. But as you informed me that was part of the process, that it's actually working. So I
Right.
did notice that. So I didn't experience a whole lot during the time. It was after my last treatment that it just seemed like a switch was turned on in my body. So I was kind of course, you're looking for changes, and I did experience some things for sure. I think
Hmm.
the first thing was you feel a lot more clear in your thought process,
Yeah.
is one of the first things I experienced. But after my last session, it just seemed like everything just kind of converged, and I started feeling fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's amazing. Yeah, I
yeah,
do remember you saying, like it would just hit you. You'd just be so tired. I think even after
yes,
your evaluation, where we didn't even do a lot of therapy, you told me the next day you felt like terrible or like you gotten beat up or so. Just there
yeah,
was a
oh
shift.
yeah,
It wasn't
definitely,
pleasant at first, which can be common, but um, soon after that, you were starting to have
mhm,
a lot of change with the. So
yeah,
you could kind of feel it when it was running, just in like you would get really tired. I remember like
right,
one time you were at church and like it just hit you.
yeah, yes, yeah, absolutely did.
Yeah, awesome. That's amazing. So, just final question, what would you say to anybody who is considering and maybe kind of on the fence about trying out bioresonance feedback evaluation and therapy?
Right. I would say do your research, because I definitely did my research.
Mhm.
I could not find a single negative thing on the internet.
Nice.
Now, I'm sure there's something out there, but I could not find it. So, I
Right.
mean, I think that was the first step in convincing me to go forward with it. It's like, okay, I can't find anything negative about this. So, what would keep me from doing it?
Yeah.
And then I would say, don't be alarmed by technology you don't understand, because
Good
it
point.
may not, you may not be able to wrap your brain around it at this time. But as you kind of understand how the body works and frequency and emotional state, how that impacts your health, it starts to make a little bit more sense then.
Yeah,
And
and that was something that we talked about, like kind of the
mhm,
piece that was missing maybe for you was that emotional piece, kind of tying maybe the start of the symptoms, the original, to
right,
that. And it was um, no coincidence. I think it was no coincidence that you felt had that turnaround, that switch flip after Easter, which is a big time for you. You're very active in your church and loving
Hmm.
community and stuff there.
Right. So, and I would say that also from a cost uh, perspective, it really isn't that expensive.
Mhm.
If you consider going to a holistic doctor, all the supplements that you might do, uh, it's not that expensive. So when I saw the price, I was pleasantly surprised because you know something that this is so far advanced technology wise. I guess it's really not that far advanced. I mean, it's been around for a little while,
Yeah.
but it's not mainstream. You know, you don't hear about it very often.
Yes.
Uh, so considering I had one holistic doctor who I could have gone to for 10,000,
Hmm.
and I went here for under 2,000, I was quite happy to do that. So, and
Yeah.
another thing is that what's more important? I mean, you got your spiritual health, your mental health, and your physical health. I mean, there are nothing more important than those three things. So, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
great. I am just so pleased that you had such a wonderful response, and I appreciate you taking the time to join us and share your story with us.
no problem. Thank you, Mara.
Thank you.